YouTube up. Welcome. Happy Monday. I did not know my camera. Happy Monday. Let me get Facebook and TikTok up. Gonna get started. I'm gonna split the screen. All right. Let's get TikTok going and then we will get started for today's Balanced Millennial Monday. Cannot believe it is March. That's crazy. But we doing it and we here. I feel like my hair be looking crazy until I get on camera and I'll be like, oh, it's kind of cute. All right, y'all. Welcome to the Balanced Millennial Mondays with Key. It is a new month. Happy March. Happy Women's History Month. I hope everybody is ready for this energetic new year that is coming up, because y'all know I have been getting y'all prepared for this energetic new year by focusing on a reset for Q1. So I hope y'all have been preparing yourselves, and I hope that y'all are getting ready. I hope that y'all are doing whatever you need to do to shift your mindset, to prepare yourself for abundance, to help yourself believe that you deserve abundance, that you can achieve abundance, that you can receive abundance, and been giving yourself the confidence to really show up as your best self in your life for yourself. I saw a post. I'm gonna get started after I say this. I saw a post today, and it said something along the lines of, I've been like isolated, but not in a bad way, but in a way that's like increasing my discernment. And I'm like, yes. Spend the month of March by yourself, to yourself. Spend the month of March preparing yourself for the energetic new year, preparing yourself to receive all the manifestations that you put out into the universe. Prepare yourself. So stay away from hating ass motherfuckers. Stay away from people who cannot support you unless you're going through something bad. Stay away from people who only have negative things to talk about, who only have gossip, who aren't winning. Stay away from losers. That's the moral of the story for the month of March. Stay away from losers, and make sure that you are surrounding yourself with energy that helps you believe in yourself more, have more faith in yourself, and trust yourself more. Now let's get started on this Balanced Millennial Monday. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm live on YouTube right now at Keandra Ware. I am live in the Facebook group, The Balanced Millennial. Make sure you join The Balanced Millennial. And let's get started. Oh, on TikTok. I'm live on TikTok too. Follow me on TikTok at Keandra Ware as well. So today we are going to talk about something that impacts so many of us. And I've been working on this with my clients. I've been talking about this with my clients a lot. So I was like, let's start the month of March off talking about this topic because it impacts so many of us. Let's talk about guilt. Let's talk about how guilt impacts your ability to achieve a more balanced lifestyle. So we all know that life be lifing. Life is complex. My life does not look like your life. Your life does not look like my life. No one's life looks exactly the same. Shit be real. Shit is complex. But it seems like no matter how complex we understand our own lives to be, a lot of times we think that other people's lives are as complex and other people can't really relate to the experience that you're having. So a lot of times you're feeling guilt about things that if you just share it with somebody, if you just talked about it with somebody, you would realize you don't have to feel guilty about that. You don't have to feel guilty about that. We're going to talk about 3 different kinds of guilt today. We're going to talk about 3 different kinds of guilt that is impacting you and that is making it harder for you to live a balanced lifestyle. And we're going to talk about ways to, I won't necessarily say push past this guilt, but ways to sit in this guilt and learn how to maneuver around it. So let's start with your career guilt. You're having career guilt. You're constantly torn between different career ambitions, different career desires, and it's like you feel like what you really desire in a career, what you really want in a career, you either feel like you can't get, or you feel like it's too much work, too much pressure, too stressful, gonna give you anxiety. It always feels like there's too much of the things that you don't want and not enough of the things that you do want. There's not enough benefits. There's not enough pay. The hours don't work with your schedule. The hours don't work with, if you're a parent, with your parenting schedule. So you're constantly having this career guilt where you're having to pick and choose careers or having to pick and choose positions that don't necessarily align with what you want to do, but it fits for the moment, or it fits for what you think that you want at this time. But this it's easy to push past career guilt when you stop being loyal to these companies, because you don't have to be loyal to a company. Because I'm telling you now, if something was to happen to you, you would be replaced in a week, 2 weeks max. So you don't have to be loyal to these companies. Stop feeling like, oh, I've only been here for 3 months, I can't quit. If you apply to that job that's paying 10, 15, 20, 30K more, the hours are better, the benefits are better, you don't have to feel guilty about making that decision. You can leave that company and they will find someone to replace you and they will be okay. But when you have that career guilt where you feel like, oh, I have to stay loyal to this company. I have to continue here. I got to see this through. I got to see this out. No, you don't. That's a mindset that really we've inherited from the past, because we were always told that job hopping looks bad on resumes. We were always told that you should stay in a job 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. You should be retiring at these jobs. We've always been told these things about what we should do about our careers and how we should go about our careers. And I'm here to tell you that all that shit is made up. All that shit is for the system. All that shit is said to you because they want you to stay in these positions that don't offer you enough. They want you to stay in these positions that don't value you. They want you to stay in these positions that don't allow you to grow personally, personal growth, professional growth, because when you're working a job, you should be able to grow as a person in that job. Even in one of my clients, the job that she's working, one of the things that she says about that job that has helped her grow is with her ability to respond to negative feedback. Before, she would take it personal. She would get frustrated. She would feel like it's a personal attack towards her. When it's like now, when there is negative feedback, when it's like, oh, you could do better, or criticism, or you could do better this way, you could say this better, you could respond to this better. Like, instead of taking that as an attack, now it's like, okay, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to review this information. I'm going to see what I can do to make sure I am responding better, make sure I am hearing what's being said, and make sure I'm incorporating what's being said, even if you don't agree. A lot of times, especially in corporate, you don't have to agree with nothing that folks say in corporate. If you say okay and bring it up again later on, like you done implemented it, that be enough. And that's one of the things that I do with my clients too, is I'm really good at helping them understand um, what language to use at work. Because a lot of times the career guilt that you're feeling is because you also don't have the language. You don't know what words to say to your boss in order to resolve conflict. You don't know what words to say to your coworker when it comes to making sure that you're not doing their job and making sure they're doing their job. So a lot of times the issue with career guilt is that you don't know what to say. You don't know what to say on your resume in order to find a new job. You don't know what to say to your boss to quit, to leave. It's a lot of language barriers, and it's because we weren't taught these things. A lot of the career guilt that you have is because you were taught to value careers and value these companies more than yourself. You were taught to value these careers and value these companies more than your own personal values outside of work. And part of my program, which is the Balancing Act, and part of that is to break down those belief systems. And so that way you can start focusing on the values that actually matter to you. Because the work that you do should also relate to who you are as a person. I am in the mental health field. I do mental health work. My 9 to 5 is at a mental health company. I couldn't do anything else. And so it's like when you're working a job, you want to start, even like I said, we're getting ready for the energetic new year. You want to start writing down the things that you want at your job. Because to be realistic, we all have to work. We all have to work, whether it's your business, whether it's at 9 to 5, 5 to 9, whatever the case may be. We all have to work. So you want to start being very, very specific about the kind of work that you want to do. You want to be very specific about what you want to experience at your job. For me, when I manifested the job that I'm in now, I manifested this job last year. I've been there, oh my God, this is a year. So this month will be a year that I've been at my current job, and I manifested that job. I knew exactly what I wanted. I know I wanted to work from home because I am in Metro Atlanta. I used to teach in East Atlanta, and I live in Douglasville. So I was literally tired of driving 2 hours a day, basically to and from work because of the traffic in Atlanta. And so I was like, I want to work from home. I want the job to pay me. I had a minimum. Like I knew what my minimum salary would be. So I didn't even apply to jobs that offer anything less than that salary. And I think, what was that salary at the time? 60? Yeah, at the time that salary was 60. So I was like, I'm not applying to any job. I don't want any job that's going to pay me less than 60,000 a year. That is a core value. So what I did was I identified my core values in a job. That's one thing. That's the first phase that I take my clients through in the balancing act. So I identified the my core values that I want in a job. Work from home. The job had to pay at least $60,000. The job had to allow me to invest in my business and still like save money and still put money towards my goals and things like that. The job had to feel aligned with my own mission and with what I do. The company that I work for, their whole mission is to provide mental health care access to people who wouldn't have gotten it before. Like we actually just launched Medicare and Medicaid. So we're going to be able to accept Medicare and Medicaid clients soon. And that is such a big thing because there are so many people in this country that are using Medicare and Medicaid, and they cannot find a therapist. They cannot see a therapist. I have a client right now, actually, who has Medicaid. I'm trying to make sure I say Medicaid. Yeah, I have a client right now who has Medicaid. And that's one of the things that we're working on is finding a therapist for her who accepts Medicaid, because I do insurance at work. I do a lot of insurance things at work. So I've really, really learned insurance. Again, I'm learning from this new job. Like this job allows me to help people outside of work. Um, so I've learned a lot about insurance, and I know that a lot of providers are not willing to accept insurance, or not willing to accept Medicaid because of the process of submitting the claims. And sometimes you get paid, sometimes you won't. If the claim is denied, you have to figure all of that out, which is like at my company, that's what we do for providers. So you wanna start working on that career guilt, but to do that, you need to start identifying your core values for work. What are your core values for your career? What do you want to feel like when you're doing your job? What do you want to feel like when you get off work? And I'm not saying it's going to be perfect every single day. There are days where I just have no energy. After solving everybody's problems at work, I have no energy at the end of the day. So it's not like it's going to be perfect every single day, but I'm at home. I work from bed a lot of times. I work from the living room a lot of times. I can go to a coffee shop and work. There are times where I'm working from appointments. So if I have an appointment, a doctor's appointment, if I go get something repaired on my car on Wednesday, I'm going to be working. My grandma was with my mom today, and they were at the house, and I went outside to go see her, and she was like, oh, you must have been off today. I was like, no, I'm at work. I'm at work right now. So you want to start identifying, what are your core values about work? What do you want work to feel like? Do you want to be in office? Do you want a hybrid? Do you want a remote? Because what's going to happen is you're going to identify those core values about your career, and you want to do that guilt free. Don't focus on the limitations that have already been placed on the kind of career that you can have. Don't focus on that. Focus on what you want. That's it. Nothing else. Focus on what you want. Because when you start believing that you can receive anything that you desire, it becomes easier and easier to manifest bigger and bigger things. I was making $38,000, y'all, when I was teaching. $38,000. $38,000 in Metro. I was working in Atlanta, but living in Metro Atlanta, making $38,000 while teaching. I decided that wasn't enough. And I remember asking my boss to go up to 50. I was like, I want 50. And he told me no. And I was like, okay, well, That's the end of me here then, like, and it's like for me, and phase one of the balancing act is standing on business, and that's where we identify our core values. So once I identified the fact that $38,000 was not enough money, which is not, nobody should be making that as an adult. Like that's not what they should be paying you as an adult, because you're an adult. These bills real, this inflation is real. Um, all the craziness going on in the world is real. The fact that our tax money is funding genocide is real. The fact that these people are trying to make us vote between Trump and Biden again is real. All these things are real. And so the least amount of money that you should be willing to accept is what will make sure that your bills are paid and that you can still like invest in yourself. You can still spend money on courses, on classes, on self-care. And I'm not saying going crazy. I'm just saying that you can put that money to the side and do it. You can take one trip a year. You can do a staycation once a year, like making sure that your job allows you to live a life. Not to not you. I just don't believe. I don't believe that we just go to work, go home, do the same thing for 40 years and then die. I don't believe in that lifestyle, and I don't advocate for that lifestyle for my clients. And when I'm working with my clients, we do a lot of work to get them out of that cycle of even believing that that's how life should be. So again, when you're talking about career guilt, when you're scared to quit your job because you've been there for so long, when you're scared to apply to positions that you're not 100% qualified for, and then let's talk about that too. Career guilt can also make you not apply to positions because you don't meet every single qualification on that job listing. Most people don't. Most people do not meet that job list. And then one of the things I do with my clients is a little bit of career coaching, because I will review your resume, and I will help you make edits to your resume, because a lot of times, like I said, it's a language. You don't know what to say on your resume. You don't know that whatever position you're applying for, that should be the title on your resume. You don't know that. You don't know that you should have an updated LinkedIn that aligns directly with the jobs that you're applying for, and you should be putting that LinkedIn link your LinkedIn page on your resumes. You don't know that. So there are so many things that you don't know that's keeping you in the cycle of career guilt. And these are things that I help my clients with in session, especially in phase one, where we're identifying core values. And so again, we're talking about career guilt. Make sure that you're not choosing your job because you feel like that's all you can get. That is not all you can get. That's all you believe that you can get at this time. So you need to start shifting your mindset out of the beliefs that that were pushed onto us as we were getting older, as we grew up. It made sense while we were growing up. It made sense for our parents to tell us to get an education and get a degree. Many of us do not use our degree. It's just reality. It made sense at the time for them to put us on this path, because that was the path to success back in the day. That was the expectation, was that you could get a degree, get a good paying job, get the white picket fence, the house, the 2.5 kids. You could do all those things back in the day. That's not the reality now. That is not the reality now. So you want to start getting yourself out of the mindset of being stuck in your career and being stuck doing which it doesn't fulfill you. You're not passionate about. You wake up every day angry about going to work. You literally don't get out the bed until it's 10 minutes to leave the house. So you're not taking care of yourself in the morning. You're not creating healthy routines in the morning because you have so much career guilt, and you're so overwhelmed by always trying to grow in these careers you don't really give a damn about. So first is working on your career guilt, identifying your core values in your career, and only applying to jobs that align. Don't even apply to other jobs. If you know for a fact that you're not going to accept anything less than 60K, I don't care if that job says they pay 58, don't apply. You're not applying there, because standing firm on that, standing on business with that, is going to also show the universe that you mean business. It's going to show the universe that you're not accepting anything less than. And so you're only going to get what you actually desire. All right, the second type of guilt. Every time I come on here and say I'm going to do 10 minutes, We be 20 minutes in, and I don't even be halfway done. All right, so the second type of guilt, social media guilt. Social media guilt. So social media guilt is real, especially when we're talking about FOMO. So social media guilt happens a lot when you are idealizing and romanticizing other people's lifestyle. You have to remember, like, it has to be ingrained in you that what you see is such a small portion of someone's life and of someone's day. And it's cool to like the picture. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's funny. Like, and leave it there. And leave it there, because these are curated images. These are people who, and I'm not gonna say everybody's on here being fake or everybody's on here not showing the real or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you don't know them people. You don't know these people. Even people that you know, like I know people in real life who lie on social media all the time. Y'all know people in real life who lie on social media all the time. Like, you cannot compare your life and your situation and your work and the things that are important to you, the things that are valuable to you, to other people, whatever they're posting. Like, you may be on a journey that requires you to you may be on a journey that requires you to, I don't know, travel more, right? You're on a journey where traveling is your thing. Someone else may be on a journey where they're like super save money mode, so traveling is not a priority right now. So if that person that is on super save mode keeps watching this person who's on a traveling journey, that's their mission right now, that's their journey right now, that's their path right now, you're gonna start feeling guilty. Like, dang, like, we only YOLO, you only live once. Like, why should I keep saving my money when people are out here living their best life and yada yada yada? The whole time y'all are not even on the same journey. Y'all are not even on the same path. So it doesn't even make sense to compare your lifestyle to them. It doesn't make sense to compare your choices to theirs, because you don't know them. You don't know where they're going, what they're doing. You don't know who's paying for this stuff. You don't know if somebody else is funding all these things. You don't know if they're in debt because of these things. I like the what's his name? Ramsey. Uh, the guy that talks about debt really, really bad. Somebody drop his name. But the guy that talks about debt really, really bad, which I hate that I can't think of his name. He has a podcast with the younger people on the podcast though. And he talks about debt really, really, really bad. But he'll do like the debt analysis or audit live. And then, like, I remember there was a couple that basically made over 100K a year, but were broke. And it's like, yeah, they're broke because every expense in their life is like the upgraded highest expense. They got the newest, upgraded, most luxurious Tesla. They probably paying like $1,200 a month for it. You got the most updated appliances in your house. You're probably paying for those appliances. Like, instead of buying the appliance, you're paying on the appliance because they're using credit. So it's like you cannot compare yourself to other people's lives, because you don't really know what they got going on. You don't really know what they got going on. So a good way to help with social media guilt is to first tap back into reality. Go touch some grass. Go touch some grass. Go touch some grass. You have to start reminding yourself that social media is an image. It's a portrayal. It's just what people want you to see is what they share, and that's just that. Even if, like, what you're seeing is a whole bunch of craziness. If somebody's posting a whole bunch of foolishness, that's because that's what they want you to see. If someone's posting all of their accomplishments, that's because that's what they want you to see. People only post what they want you to see. That's it. And so look at it that way. Also, start limiting the amount of social media that you use per day, because the mindless scrolling is going to mess with anybody. Even the strongest, most confident person is going to start weakening and becoming more guilty about their own lifestyle if they are spending hours and hours scrolling and absorbing other people's lifestyle. So you want to start limiting the amount of social media that you use. I actually have an app on my phone. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been as active on TikTok, is because I actually put an app on my phone. It's called Opal. And what it does is it blocks off any apps that you want to block off for however, like, whatever period. So Right now, I don't do social media during work. I might do like it allows you to snooze it for like max of 15 minutes. So during like I take a couple breaks at work and then I have lunch and all that stuff. So I may hit it twice in a day during the work day where I'm like maybe 30 minutes total from 8 to 5 on social media. Whereas before it was like every time I got bored at work, I'm scrolling. So limiting the amount of social media you that you absorb every day will really, really help with your social media guilt because you'll be living in your own life. You'll be so absorbed in your own life. You'll have time. You have time to do the things you say you don't have time to do because you're spending so many hours on social media. Also, start auditing. You need to start auditing the amount of time that you spend on social media. If you have an iPhone, you know that's easy to do. You can go look at your screen time. So look at how much time you're spending on social media. Get embarrassed. I want you to get embarrassed about how much time you're spending on social media. And then I want you to start using that app. Again, the app is Opal, OPAL. The app is Opal. So I want you to get embarrassed about how much time you're spending on social media. And I want you to reduce the amount of time that you're spending. Try to get down to like an hour. Try to get down to 30 minutes. Try to get it down to as small of a chunk of your day as possible. Because when you start auditing your time, and that's something that we do in the balancing act in phase 2, when we're talking about reclaiming your time. When you start auditing your time, you start being real intentional and you start being more aware about how much time you're spending on something. I have a client who has ADHD, and one of her things is that she gets lost in time. Like, her attention jumps. So it's like she'll be here and here and here and here, and then next thing she knows, it'll be a few hours gone, and nothing has gotten done. It's really, really, really easy to do that when you're not being mindful of time. Start putting timers on your phone. I'm a big timer on the phone person, like very, very big. Like even this, every Monday at 8:40 p.m., my alarm goes off. That lets me know I have Balanced Millennial Monday at 9 p.m. Throughout the day, I'm putting timers on my phone. Okay, let me give myself 10 minutes away from whatever I was doing. Let me give myself 10 minutes to just sit here quiet. Let me give myself 5 minutes of silence. I'm really, really big on timers because putting timers on for me, and I always have my clients do this too, of course, in phase 2. Putting timers on is really, really big because it makes you check time. A lot of time, y'all are late for things. A lot of time, you're turning in things late. A lot of times, you are procrastinating. It's because you're really, like, literally away from time. Like, you're literally not even. Time is not. It's already fake, but it's so fake in your mind that it ain't even existing. In reality, time is still going. So if you tell yourself you're going to do something at 6 p.m. and then 8 o'clock rolls around, you're like, damn, it's been 2 hours. And yes, it's been 2 hours. Get your ass up. Get your ass up. It's been 2 hours. You said 6. It's been 2. Get your ass up. So during phase 2 of the balancing act, I'm really, really big on auditing my clients' time and seeing how much time they spend on things, because that will help alleviate some of your social media guilt, because a lot of it is made up in your mind anyway. A lot of it comes from your mindless scrolling. A lot of it comes from the fact that you are spending too much time on social media. And so you're feeling guilty, you're feeling burned out, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling like you're not doing enough or you're doing too much because of other people. It's like, damn, they always on vacation and I'm always at work. That's lame as hell. It's lame as hell that you comparing your life to theirs. I mean, you don't know what they got going on. They probably worked hard as hell the past 10 years, so they can go on vacation all the time now. Whereas you're in a place now where you're in your 4th year working hard as hell, and you got a couple more to go before you can go on vacation all the time. Stop comparing your life to other people. Get off social media, go touch some grass, put a timer on your phone, and breathe, relax. Again, identify your core values. This is what I do with my clients in phase 1, because there's no point in setting a goal. There's no point in setting an intention if you don't know what your values are. Because all that's going to happen is you're going to attract things in your life that you don't even want, but you think you do until you get it. And then you be like, damn, I don't even want that shit for real. Stop comparing your life to other people. Spend less time per day on social media and stop mindlessly scrolling. Put the phone down, download the Opal app, get rid of social media big chunks of your day, and touch some grass. Oh, oh, okay, yeah. So Canario said that I put a timer for her to do a journal. Yeah, during one of our sessions, I put a timer for her to do a journal assignment, and she was like, "It hasn't been 5 minutes yet." That's crazy. Yes, like if you are not auditing your time, that's gonna be the last thing, and I'm gonna move to the next point so I can wrap this up for y'all. But if you're not auditing your time, you literally don't realize how much time is going by. Like 5 minutes is a very, very long time for somebody who never monitors time. Like when you're 5 minutes goes by really, really fast when you're anxious. 5 minutes goes by really, really fast when you're rushing. But when you're being intentional and slowing your body down and slowing your breathing down and slowing your actions down, 5 minutes lasts a very long time. So when you're working with me, that is something that I have you do on the spot in session. Is you got 5 minutes, journal, 5 minutes straight, 5 minutes. I don't care what you write. You can write about the sky being gray today. You got 5 minutes. You need to journal the entire 5 minutes because I want you to feel time. Like for me, I feel time. I don't know if I've always felt time. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I've always felt time, but I think I feel time more because my mom to this day, my mom is late to everything. And so as a kid, I was always late to stuff because of course my mama got to drive me. And I hated it. I hated being late to everything. I hated being the last one to show up. I hated it. I hated waiting on her because I've been ready for 2 hours. Like I hated the whole thing. And so I feel like I've always been more conscious of time because of that. Like because I like to be on time and because I don't like to show up late. So y'all people that are always late, start auditing your time and stop disrespecting other people's time. Okay. All right. Last point, y'all. Last point. Last point. Self-care guilt. That's the third guilt. Last guilt. Self-care guilt. So a lot of my clients come in feeling guilty when they take time for self-care. They feel guilty. Because in our society, there's a constant pressure to be productive. It's a constant pressure. You're always told that you should be doing something. You should be doing something. And I don't know about y'all, but growing up in a black hole, there is no resting. There is no resting. I remember seeing a post on Twitter. I saw a post on Twitter the other day, and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. My mom's waking me up, so I didn't realize that I had a hard time. Like, and this is the post. Like, she said she didn't realize she had a hard time sleeping in on Saturdays as an adult because she never could as a kid. Like 8 o'clock, you got to get up, you got to clean up, you got to do something. And yeah, I don't remember resting on the weekend as a kid. I don't remember getting the opportunity or the chance or the luxury to like lay down and do nothing for hours at a time. And so that's a habit that I help my clients break because you don't want to feel like you always have to be productive because in those times when you're not being productive, that's your body resting. That's your body creating creative juices. That's your body giving yourself a mental break so that way when it is time to do something, you have the energy to do it. But if you're always productive, if you're always on, you don't have the time for real. Like it's hard to prioritize self-care if you're going to feel guilty for not being productive. And a good way to help shift that mindset is to start seeing self-care as productivity. You have to start seeing self-care as productivity. Being prioritizing taking care of yourself is productive. That is productive. No way around it. It is productive. If you need to take a long bath at the beginning of the week, that's productive. If you need to take a 10-minute break at work and you need to collect yourself because you had a hard meeting or it's just too much going on, too much gossip, too much whatever, that's productive. Even in my job, right? Because I'm telling y'all, I don't play. I manifested the hell out this job, and I've been having to like be in gratitude lately because thank you, thank you, Simeon. I hope I said that right. But I've been having to like be in gratitude the past couple weeks because I've been getting frustrated about work. Really more PMS, and I be PMS and should be pissing me off. But I've been having to show more gratitude because it was like I manifested this job for a reason. I need to focus on why I manifested this job. So even at my job, we get 2 15-minute breaks, like incorporate in our schedule. I take them every single day. But I wasn't before. I wasn't taking my breaks every single day. And so that was making me overproductive. Like now, instead of taking my 2 15-minute breaks and my hour lunch, I'm only taking my hour lunch. So if I'm dealing with back-to-back escalations because I'm a senior, I have a senior role, and I deal with like people who get mad, people who get mad, and people who want their money back. And so when I'm like dealing with that back to back to back and it gets overwhelming, I take a break because that's productive. How am I going to make sure I can help the next client or the next provider if I'm upset, if I'm frustrated, if I'm irritated? You have to start seeing those breaks, those pauses, that PTO, even if it's not paid, take that shit off. Even if it is not PTO, you gotta work overtime 1 week so you can take a day off the next week. Like you gotta start figuring it out in order to start prioritizing what actually matters to you. And then phase 3 of the balancing act, that's when we really, really dive deep into routines and habits and rituals, because you want to start making sure that self-care is part of your routine. Like people will see how productive I am, and they'll see how much I get done as a one-woman show because I run this business. I own premierpersonalgrowthfirm.com. Go check it out. Premierpersonalgrowthfirm.com. So I run the business by myself. I'm a one-woman show. I had a VA, but it didn't work out at the time. So no VA right now. And people were like, how do you get all this done? You're a mom, you have a full-time job, all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all, I have work days. And outside of my work days, I'm not doing no work. Like I have days where I see clients, like I specifically see clients on Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and I'll make exceptions if need be. But I specifically see clients on Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I don't see clients outside of those days. I work Sunday through Thursday, so that gives me every Friday and Saturday off. And I specifically do the Balanced Millennial Mondays every Monday, and I don't see clients on Monday, so it's like I'm not overloading my schedule. It looks like it, like to someone else, they're like, "Oh, I don't know how you do all that. Like I couldn't keep up with all that." You can. It's just that to you, it looks like I'm booked and busy, and that's not a belief system that I go by. I like to be booked, but not necessarily busy. And so you want to start dealing with that self-care guilt. You want to start first off pinpointing where it came from. Like the example I gave earlier, she realized that it came from how she was raised. On Saturdays, she never had the chance to relax. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. She's having to get up and clean, having to get up and do something, get dressed, walk around the house. Like you can't just lounge around in a bed. So if you feel guilty for taking care of yourself, if you feel guilty for relaxing, if you feel guilty for laying on a couch, watching TV, for just chilling out, if that makes you feel guilty, you want to get to the root of why. Was it your childhood? Was it a partner? I know there are some times where people are in a relationship with someone who makes them feel bad for relaxing, who makes them feel bad for chilling because they're someone who's always on, they may feel like their partner should always be on. So you want to start paying attention to why you struggle to prioritize self-care, because you can't show up for anybody if you're not showing up for yourself. Like point blank, period. You cannot show up for anybody if you're not showing up for yourself. You have to show up and make sure that your cup is full. So when your cup is full, it's so much easier. Like my cup be full, y'all. My cup be full. So it's like it may seem like my schedule is overwhelming. It may seem like I'm doing too much, but I know what my limit is. I know my max is 5 clients. I know anything over 5 clients is going to be too much for my schedule. So I don't accept more than 5 clients at a time. And I know when I need a parenting break. I know after a couple weeks, Rich gotta go on and go on by his business because I know by then I need a parenting break. So it's like you have to know what you need. You have to know what schedule works best for you. And again, in part 3 of the Balancing Act, we do focus on that. We focus on creating new routines, creating new rituals, creating new habits. And so today we talked about breaking the guilt cycle. Breaking the guilt cycle. We talked about the 3 different types of guilt that you're probably facing that is keeping you from achieving a balanced lifestyle. So you could be facing career guilt. You could be scared to climb the ladder. You could be scared to go to another job. You could be scared to like really apply to positions that you want out of fear that you'll be rejected. You can have social media guilt. You could be spending way too much time on social media and comparing your life to others. And that is making it to where you're not even able to really focus on your own life. And you can have self-care guilt. And this could be causing you to feel guilty when you're relaxing, feel guilty when you need a break, feel guilty for not being more productive in your pause time, in your break time. And so, again, I want to help you get past this guilt. For the month of March, again, you want to focus on spending time alone because we're about to enter this energetic new year. And you want to make sure that the energy that you're surrounding yourself with and the energy you're filling yourself up with is going to bring in your goals, going to bring in those manifestations, going to align you with a more balanced lifestyle. And I want to help you get there. So if you are interested and this is something that you would like to do, then make sure you DM me balance. Make sure you DM me balance so we can talk about the balance and act in the 3 phases, and I can provide you with more information. Also, make sure you check out my website, premierpersonalgrowthfirm.com. Check out the website. I've been making some updates, and then my best friend's about to update another page. So check out the website. And again, follow me on TikTok at Kendra Ware, YouTube at Kendra Ware. Join the Facebook group, The Balanced Millennial. And also join my email list because my email list gets a weekly affirmation every single Sunday. Every single Sunday, my email list starts with a weekly affirmation. And so they're getting 1 to 3 emails every single week from me. And I'm excited for this energetic new year. I'm excited for the month of March. I am ready to get out of sad girl season. I'm so ready to get out of sad girl season. I'm so ready to be a hot girl again. I'm so ready. And so thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for everybody that joined, commented, liked, shared, all that good stuff. I appreciate the support every single time. Much gratitude. And I hope y'all have an amazing week. I'll be back again next Monday where we will continue our conversation about the things that are keeping you from creating this balanced lifestyle. And I will see y'all next week.